My name's Sarah, and I'm 29 years old. A month ago, if you'd asked me about my family, I'd have said they were mildly chaotic at worst. You know, the typical snarky remarks during holiday dinners. My mom clearly favoring my younger sister, Lily, and my dad being completely oblivious to it all. Irritating, sure. Intolerable, not quite. But then Lily's wedding happened, and it hit me. My family doesn't just play favorites, they've got a star of the show, and trust me, it's not me a bit of context. Lily is 26, and calling her the family's darling would be putting it lightly. She's been pampered her whole life. At 16, she threw a fit because my parents bought me a second-hand car, and she demanded a shiny new one for her birthday. Guess what? She got it. She's the golden child, the untouchable princess who's never wrong, even when she's blatantly wrong. Me? I was the older sibling tasked with being the role model, which basically meant doing everything perfectly and getting zero credit for it. If I brought home a B+, my mom would sigh and say, "Sarah, you can do better." But if Lily scraped by with a D, it was cause for a celebration going into Lily's wedding. I knew I wouldn't be the center of attention. It was her day, and I was fine playing the supportive sister, posing for photos, and avoiding any drama. But what I didn't see coming was how far they'd go to remind me of my place in the family hierarchy. The red flags started early. First, I learned I wasn't part of the wedding party. Okay, fine. Not every sibling gets to be a bridesmaid. But then I found out Lily included her childhood friend, a coworker, and even her fiancé's cousin's girlfriend in the bridal party. That stung a bit. Still, I brushed it off, thinking maybe she wanted a different vibe. Then came the seating arrangement. I didn't expect to be at the head table, that's for the couple and their closest allies. But I figured I'd at least be with our family, the people I've shared jeans and holiday meals with forever. Nope. When I got to the venue and grabbed my place card, something felt off. My name wasn't listed with my parents, aunts, or cousins. In fact, it wasn't on the seating chart at all. I had to ask a wedding coordinator where I was supposed to sit. She gave me the most forced, awkward smile I've ever seen. "Oh, Sarah, you're right over here," she said, pointing. I followed her gesture and saw it. My seat wasn't in the elegant ballroom with its glittering chandeliers and beautifully set tables. It was outside in the corridor next to a coat rack. I laughed at first, thinking it had to be a mix-up. Maybe they ran out of space and shuffled things around. But no, that was my spot. A solitary table by the entrance, surrounded by the faint, musty scent of winter coats. I turned to the coordinator, still chuckling because my brain couldn't process it. "You're joking, right?" She looked like she wanted to vanish. "I'm so sorry, that's your assigned seat." Assigned. Like I was being sent to a detention corner. I wasn't angry yet, just baffled. Was this a prank? Some weird wedding custom I'd never heard of. I needed answers, so I tracked down Lily near the bridal suite, where she was glowing as the bride, surrounded by her friends and our mom, who was fussing over her gown. Lily spotted me and flashed a painfully fake smile. "Oh, hi, you're here." I held up my place card. "Yeah, quick question. Why am I seated outside the reception hall?" She blinked, then let out a little laugh. "Oh, that. We had to rearrange some things last minute." And I just happened to be the one relegated to the hallway. Lily shrugged like it was nothing. "Yeah, we needed to prioritize close family at the main tables." I stared at her. "I am close family." That's when my mom, who'd been pretending not to eavesdrop, jumped in with her sweetest tone. "Sarah, please don't make a fuss. This is Lily's big day." "Not making a fuss," I said. "I'm asking why I'm sitting with the coats." Then Lily dropped the line that made this the most unforgettable wedding I've ever been to. "Well, you're not really immediate family anymore." I froze, trying to wrap my head around that. "Excuse me?" She shrugged again, fixing her veil like I was boring her. "You moved out years ago. You're not around much. And you know you're not married or anything. Things are different now." The feeling that hit me wasn't just anger. It was something deeper, colder. I wasn't immediate family because I dared to grow up and live my own life. Because I wasn't married. Before I could respond, another voice chimed in. It was Lily's mother-in-law, Claire. I hadn't dealt with her much before, but the second she approached, I knew her type. A drama magnet who thrived on chaos. She smirked at me. "Oh, you're Sarah. I was curious who got that seat." I forced a tight smile. "Yep, that's me, the sibling who apparently doesn't matter." Claire chuckled, her eyes dripping with fake pity. "Well, weddings are like that. Only the VIPs get the prime spots." That's when it clicked. This wasn't a mistake or poor planning. It was deliberate, and in that moment something inside me snapped. I wasn't going to sit quietly through this wedding. I wasn't going to slink away without making my point. I took a deep breath, my grip tightening on the place card. Fine. If they wanted to play dirty, I was ready. They forgot one thing: I grew up with Lily. I knew her secrets, the things she said behind closed doors. And most importantly, I knew she despised Claire. She'd played nice to her face, but behind her back, a different story. And now I had an audience. I turned to Claire, putting on my best fake concerned face. You know, it's funny, just the other day, Lily was so stressed about the seating. Lily, who'd been inspecting her nails, froze. Claire raised an eyebrow. Oh, I nodded, keeping my tone light. Yeah, she was freaking out, kept saying she didn't want certain people too close to the head table. I paused, leaning in like I was sharing a secret. Something about not wanting her wedding photos ruined by, what was it, Lily? Oh, right, someone's gaudy fashion choices. The group went silent. Claire's smirk vanished. Lily's face paled. Sarah, she said sharply, but I wasn't done. Oh, and remember how you were so worried about speeches. You were terrified about what some people might say. I shot Claire a pointed look. I believe you said, if she gives a speech, I'll lose it. She's so cringeworthy, she'll probably make it all about herself. Claire's expression darkened. Lily made a choked sound, grabbing my arm. Can we talk for a second? I pulled away, feigning confusion. Why? I thought we were having a family chat. Since I'm not immediate family, I figured I'd at least join the conversation. Claire turned to Lily, eyes narrowing. Is that true? Lily let out a nervous laugh, shaking her head. No, of course not. Sarah's just, I gasped dramatically, smacking my forehead. Oh, silly me, I forgot about the bachelorette party. I turned to Claire. You know, the one where Lily spent half the night whining about you. Said she was counting down the days until she could drop the act. That was the final blow. Claire's jaw dropped. My mom, who'd been standing awkwardly nearby, looked mortified. My dad, who'd been clueless until now, took a step back like he wanted to vanish. Lily's friends, the bridesmaids, started whispering, exchanging shocked glances. Lily looked like she might combust. Her lips moved, but no words came out. Then Claire turned on her. You ungrateful little snake! I had to bite my lip to keep from grinning. This was about to get good. You think you can use me? Claire snapped, her voice sharp. After everything I've done for you, the money I poured into this wedding, the connections I pulled. She waved her manicured hand toward the ballroom, her nails catching the chandelier light. And you've been bad-mouthing me this whole time, Lily stammered. I didn't. Claire turned to my parents. You knew about this, you raised her to be this deceitful. My mom looked like she might pass out. Of course not. Lily would never. Oh, spare me, I cut in, shaking my head. You knew exactly how she felt, you just didn't care. I sighed theatrically. I mean, you raised her to think she's the center of the universe. No wonder she treats everyone else like trash. My mom's face twisted with fury. Sarah, enough. I crossed my arms. Why? Because I'm causing a scene? Funny how that only matters when I speak up. Didn't seem to be an issue when Lily banished me to the hallway. By now, people were staring. Whispers grew louder. Guests turned their heads, murmuring. Even the groom, who'd been absent until now, wandered over, looking confused. What's happening? Claire rounded on him. What's happening is your wife's been insulting my family behind my back this whole time. The groom blinked. Wait, what? Claire pointed at Lily, who looked like she wanted to sink into the floor. She's been trashing me for months, my dress, my speech, my existence. Said she's only tolerating me until she doesn't have to. The groom turned to Lily slowly. Did you say that? Lily shook her head frantically. No. Well, not like that, Claire scoffed. Not like that, please. And just like that, it was chaos. Claire and Lily were at each other's throats. My mom tried to calm things down to no avail. My dad looked like he wanted to flee. The groom stood there, looking like he'd been slapped. Meanwhile, I sipped my champagne, watching the drama unfold like a front-row seat at a theater, and the best part? I wasn't done. Lily's voice hit a new pitch as she turned to her husband. You're believing her over me? She shrieked, pointing at me. The groom, trying to process it all, clenched his jaw, his face a mix of disbelief and humiliation as guests gawked. I don't even know what to say, Lily, he muttered, rubbing his temples. Did you say those things? Lily scoffed. No, it was taken out of context. I raised an eyebrow. Out of context? Oh, please, that old excuse. I put on a mocking tone. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. My voice went flat. Give it up, Lily, you got caught. And let's be real, if I hadn't said anything, you'd still be acting like you did nothing wrong. Claire, still fuming, turned to my parents. And you're fine with this? My mom's mouth opened and closed like she was gasping for air, desperate to salvage things. We don't condone. Save it, I interrupted, waving a hand. You knew how she felt and still let her play the perfect daughter-in-law. I clicked my tongue. All about keeping up appearances, right? Lily screamed. You're ruining my wedding, Sarah. I looked around dramatically. Oh, I'm ruining it. Sorry, didn't realize I was the one treating family like garbage and badmouthing the groom's mom. I turned to the guests, many of whom were staring wide-eyed. What do you all think? Who's really at fault? Few people looked away, avoiding the drama. But one of Lily's bridesmaids whispered something to the woman next to her, who let out a chuckle. That set Lily off. You think this is funny? She hissed, turning on them. The bridesmaid's lips twitched. I mean, kind of. Oh, this was gold. Lily's fists clenched, but before she could erupt again, I decided to wrap it up. I was done. I let out a theatrical sigh. Well, this has been delightful, truly memorable, but I think it's time for me to leave. Lily scoffed, throwing her hands up. Fine, go, I grinned. Oh, don't worry. I will. Then I turned to the gift table, eyeing the stack of fancy presents near the entrance. There it was, my gift. The one I'd spent weeks choosing, the one that cost me time, effort, and a chunk of cash. Lily followed my gaze, her eyes widening. Sarah, no, I strolled over, humming as I picked up the gift. Lily's jaw hit the floor. Are you seriously taking it back? I gave her a blank stare. Why would I leave it? Apparently I'm not real family, right? I gasped dramatically. Oh no, what if my outsider vibes ruin your perfect married life? Lily's face turned crimson. You're so immature. I shrugged, tucking the box under my arm. Maybe. But at least I'm not a fake, backstabbing hypocrite who pretends to be nice while trashing people behind their backs. I turned to Claire, who was still seething. Hey, Claire, good luck with her. I give it a year. Claire actually laughed. Lily screeched. I turned and headed for the exit, the tension behind me thick enough to choke on. Guests were whispering. The music had stopped. The festive vibe had turned into a full-blown catastrophe. And honestly, I was living for it. At the door, I paused, glancing back at the chaos. Lily was still arguing with Claire. My parents looked like they wanted to melt into the floor. The groom stood there like he was questioning his entire existence. And me. I gave a small wave, a smirk on my lips. Have a great wedding, sis. Then I walked out. I didn't look back after leaving that train wreck of a wedding. I didn't need to. The damage was done, and it felt better than I could have imagined. As the doors closed behind me, I exhaled, adjusting the gift under my arm. Petty, perhaps. Satisfying, absolutely. I drove home in silence, the night sinking in, my mind replaying every moment. Lily's shrieks, my mom's panic, my dad's silence, Claire's rage. It was perfection, but I knew the fallout was just starting. I was right. The next morning, my phone was blowing up. Calls, texts, voicemails. Suddenly, my family remembered I existed. My mom left 8 voicemails, her tone swinging between begging and fury. Sarah, what were you thinking? You humiliated your sister on her big day. Call me back. Sarah, please, let's talk. Come over, we can fix this. That was the most selfish, immature thing you've ever done. I hope you're happy ruining Lily's wedding. Oh, I was, Mom. I really was. Lily's messages were even better. We're done. How could you? You ruined everything. I can't even look at my wedding photos because of you. You took your gift back? Really? What kind of person does that? I hate you. I grinned, sipping my coffee as I scrolled. If Lily thought a few angry texts would guilt-trip me, she didn't know me at all. But my dad's texts caught my eye. Unlike Mom and Lily, he wasn't hurling insults or demanding apologies. His messages were brief. Call me when you can. I hesitated before dialing. Dad usually stayed out of drama, letting Mom and Lily run the show while he faded into the background. For him to reach out meant something was up. He answered on the second ring. Sarah, Dad, a long pause, then he sighed. Why'd you do it? I snorted. It wasn't my fault, they started it. I braced for a lecture, but he chuckled, a low, weary sound. Yeah, they kinda did. That threw me. Wait, you're on my side. I didn't say that, he replied, but his tone was softer. I saw what happened, how your mom and Lily treated you. It wasn't right. I leaned back in my chair. So you're not blaming me? Another pause. Not just you. Things didn't go back to normal after you left. Apparently, my stunt had lasting effects. Claire had gone off on Lily in front of everyone, demanding to know if my accusations were true. Lily, true to form, tried to lie and play innocent, but Claire wasn't buying it. She'd already sensed something off about Lily, and my words were the final push. By the end of the night, Claire had practically disowned her. The groom, livid, he'd thought Lily and his mom were close. Learning she'd been trashing Claire in front of everyone was a brutal wake-up call. According to Dad, the groom and Lily had a massive fight that night, one so bad it had him questioning the marriage. My parents were stuck in the middle. Mom tried to smooth things over, but Claire wasn't having it. She blamed Mom for raising a spoiled brat and said she didn't want Lily near her family anymore. Total chaos. So what's the deal now? I asked, curious. Dad sighed. Lily's not coping well. She's blaming you for everything. Says if you hadn't spoken up, none of this would have happened. I laughed. Of course she does. Heaven forbid she owns her actions. Dad went quiet, then said, she wants you to apologize. I nearly choked on my coffee. Apologize? She thinks if you take the blame, Claire might forgive her and things can go back to normal. I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, that's not happening. I figured, Dad said, his voice low, and honestly, I don't think you should. That stopped me. Wait, really? I told you, Sarah, I saw what happened. Maybe it's time someone called her out. That hit me harder than I expected. So what now? I asked. Dad sighed. Your mom's still trying to fix things with Claire, but it's not looking good. Claire's furious. The groom's barely talking to Lily. And Lily, she's a wreck. Good, I thought, though I didn't say it. Lily had spent years making me feel like an outsider, like I wasn't enough. Now she was facing the consequences. About time. Anyway, Dad continued, I just wanted you to know what's going on. Your mom will probably call again. She can try, I said, shrugging. I'm not picking up. Dad laughed softly. Can't blame you. It's been a few weeks since the wedding and I haven't spoken to Lily. She still refuses to take responsibility, still blames me, still expects me to fix her mess. But I won't. I don't regret what I did. If anything, I'm proud. As for her marriage, I wouldn't bet on it lasting. So what do you think? Was I too petty? Should I have stayed quiet? Or did Lily get what she had coming? Let me know. I could use a good laugh.